morning, Choctaw County, and welcome into the Wednesday edition of SunTV. I'm Clint Franks, and look who we found. We got Deanne with us this morning. Good morning.
I was out of pocket on Monday, and
That's right.
Clint had to handle the video alone, and I know he did a good job without me here. But I miss being here, actually.
Well, we did something. I don't know if it was a good job or not, but we did our best.
Yeah. Well, we thought we were having a visitor this morning, but that visitor is sick, so we'll try that again later on.
Today is World Down Syndrome Day, 3/21. Wear your bright-colored socks, and if you venture down towards southern Choctaw, you'll see the commemorative shirts raising awareness of Down syndrome. So.
But we'll have that later on for you. We have a special guest to come and talk about that, and hopefully she'll be able to be here. Maybe Friday or first of next week.
That's right. We're going to get her in here.
Yeah, that's right. Yesterday was the first day of spring.
Didn't feel like it.
It don't feel like it today, actually, to me. It's a little chilly outside.
But we're going to go to 80 degrees this weekend, and guess what?
Yeah.
For only about the third time this year, we're going to have a sunny weekend, so we're looking forward to that.
I know. I'm so excited.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a little dreary on the weekends. Excited about that. Maybe you can get outside a little bit, putt around in the yard, go for a run or a walk, as the case may be.
There you go.
Yeah. Maybe do a little fishing for some of y'all out there.
Well, that would be nice.
Yeah. What's going on in the world?
Well, if you haven't caught the news this morning, the guy that the alleged perpetrator that was doing all the bombing in the Austin, Texas area, they think that he has been dealt with.
Right. Apparently, the alleged suspect did himself in the same way that he has been doing others in, which sounds a little like poetic to me.
Right.
But brilliant effort by law enforcement
Yes.
in Texas, federal and local. Just a very, very strong response from law enforcement and the community. And it's been impressive to watch them take care of that situation.
Absolutely. And yesterday there was a school shooting in Maryland.
Right.
And the school resource officer confronted the perpetrator. And
Which you can argue all you want to about whether or not there should be resource officers armed in schools, but there is a good example of why those officers are needed and why armed officers are needed in schools.
Right.
And I hope that maybe legislation might come down the pike that would allow us to have some funding to put resource officers who are armed in our local schools, because I'm going to tell you, it's not really a question of if but when.
That's right.
In today's world.
I hate to think about it.
Right.
And we have a mentality here in Choctaw County. We're in little bitty Choctaw
We
County.
think we're isolated and insulated,
And
but we're not.
those days are over.
That's right.
Our thoughts are definitely with the people up in northeast Alabama, in the Jacksonville area. National Weather Service rated the tornado that hit Jacksonville State University as an EF3.
Right.
No fatalities, thank God, that the students at Jacksonville State were on spring break.
That's right. There was some pretty significant weather up to where my daughter Kristen lives in Huntsville, and they spent most of the afternoon Sunday in a shelter, in a basement, in a storm shelter, because of the tornadoes surrounding that area. A scary situation, especially in light of the fact that she gets a little nervous, just as you do, because she was in Tuscaloosa when the tornado ripped through that area, and since then has been very weather conscious. And I'm glad she took shelter.
Like I said, very fortunate. 0 fatalities.
That's right. That's right.
And that could have been a whole lot worse than people seem to.
We've been very fortunate here. We've been hit by some tornadoes in recent years and have not lost anyone. The tornado that hit Tuscaloosa tore up 50 houses up in the north part of our county. Some very miraculous stories of how people survived that there. No fatalities. Very few injuries. Same situation with the tornado that ripped through Pleasant Hill, Womack Hill, Chapel Hill area last year. Amazing that we didn't see more injuries and fatalities. Very miraculous stories there as well. So looking back, that was January of last year, actually. And there's still, if you drive through that area, you see the landscape is totally different from what it was just a year and a half ago. So, we want to talk a little bit today about a little photo opportunity
Right.
that I had last week. Very interesting, very cute. Sometimes you get to do the fun stuff
Right.
in this business. And last week I was invited to come to the home of Barbara Griffith and her mother Mary out off the Bailey Road, just off the Bailey Road, to see their newborn donkey. Brand new little baby, Sweet Pea.
Sweet pea.
Yeah, they call it a Sweet Pea. A Sweet Pea is a Jesus donkey. And I'm sure most people are familiar with that, the Jesus donkeys that have the cross across their back, down their back, and across their withers in the shape of a cross. There's an age-old story. Have you heard this story?
I've heard this story.
About the story of how they came to be and the donkey, how he supposedly ended up with the donkey symbol on his back.
Supposedly the cross is where Mary was.
Right. And there's a story that says that there was a farmer near Jerusalem that owned a donkey, and it was too small to do a lot of the work, so he was going to do the donkey in because it was worthless to him. But his children loved that donkey and talked him out of it, and they talked him into selling it instead of harming it. But he said it was wrong to sell it to somebody if it wasn't able to work, and he didn't want to do that. So his oldest daughter said, well, tie the donkey to a tree down the road, and whoever comes by could take it. And so that's what he did. 2 men came by and asked if they could have the donkey, and the farmer told him, well, it's really not worth much, but yes. And so they took the donkey to Jesus, and that's the donkey he rode in on Palm Sunday, supposedly, as the story goes. And also, the donkey got so attached to Jesus and loved him so much that he was there, followed him to the cross when he was crucified, and supposedly turned his back because he didn't want to watch it, and that's when the image of the cross was on his back. Now, that's just a legend, an old tale of how that actually happens, but those crosses are evident on the back of that same breed of donkeys.
But as you know, in legend, there may be a little bit of stretching the truth, but there's always some truth in that.
Right. So, this being Palm Sunday coming up, and we're about to celebrate Easter, we thought that this was a fun little look back at those donkeys. So that's a look at Sweet Pea. I wanted to bring that little donkey home, but I didn't know where I'd put it. He's very cute. But you know, donkeys have a bad reputation.
Yeah, they do.
Stubborn, a little stupid, maybe, in some people's minds. But you know what? People in the other parts of the world don't see donkeys in that way, especially in the East. They see donkeys as vital, especially back in the days of Jesus. They were symbols of peace and really workhorses, just like they were used like our horses were used in the West here. And then back in Jesus' day, they were seen as gentle symbols. And that was evidence all throughout the Bible, where donkeys were seen as gentle and peaceful animals. And they were used by God and by Jesus on several occasions throughout the Bible, stories that involved donkeys. And from historical accounts, donkeys formed a very integral part of daily life in Palestine. When Jesus was growing up, and they worked in mills, hauled water, hauled grain, and that sort of thing. And you know, they reportedly got remarkable memories. Did you know that? You know, they talk about elephants not ever forgetting. Well, apparently donkeys have good memories too. I don't know what they remember, but apparently they remember. Maybe we'll have a little bit more about Sweet Pea in the paper.
We may have to bring Sweet Pea in for show and tell one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Do something.
Maybe not. Well, tell us a little bit about sports this week, and we'll wrap the show up for today.
From the sports desk, a lot of teams they're away this week, but a few teams are home. By the way, we've got all-county basketball players of the year.
We're not going to tell you who that is today because you'll have to get the paper to find out.
That's right. And if you've been paying attention to March Madness, it is complete and utter chaos. A lot of the number one seeds are out. A lot of unheard of teams are in it. And be interested to see what goes on there. But a lot of good baseball coverage coming up, especially highlights from the Patrician South Choctaw game last week.
That's right. Well, that was a interesting game. Packed house.
The baseball game was a really, really good game, and I tell you, South Choctaw looked really, really impressive on the softball side.
I want to just leave you today with a little piece of information, just a kind of FYI thing about graduation coming up.
Oh, yeah.
It's not far along, believe it or not. We're going to see caps and gowns and all of that stuff. here in the next couple of months, and we're getting ready to put out our graduation issue coming up middle of May. And so we're going to tell all the parents of seniors and kindergartners and sixth graders who graduate, anybody that has a graduate, to be sure to get your personal ads in to congratulate your graduates. And we'll have those forms and those information about that out coming up in about a week. So we look forward to that. That's always a fun time. Always a lot of work, but we like that particular season because there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of activity, and a lot of time to pat on the back some of those deserving kids who have done great things. Well, that's our show for today, and we will be back here on Friday, and y'all have a good week.